Hi, my name is Brian Noah. Today I'm going to be doing a demo on Tachyon, how I build, how I use my AI agents, and how they do the building for me. So I start off with a conversation. Right now, I'm in Tachyon, and I can see my tasks. I can see my task boards. I might have different projects going on. So let's start with Tachyon. We're going to look at our initiatives. We can see the tasks that are associated with Tachyon, our settings, etc. And so I can see already existing tasks, already existing initiatives that were done and complete. See all of these except for one are in validation. That should actually be done. You can see the product requirements. You can see the tech spec. Now, traditionally, something like this, it's going to take a long time to come up with all the product requirements and the tech spec, back and forths and all that stuff. 18 tasks going to take a while, about 60 story points, at least a couple sprints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how I get this done in hours. I'm going to do a small one today. Right now, a task can only be assigned to one project. So if I link a different project, what's going to happen is I'm going to change it to a different project. Now when I go to that project, that initiative is going to be there. This isn't actually what I want it to do. I want to be able to assign different projects to a single initiative. That way, a single initiative can span multiple projects, etc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my VA agent, and I'm going to have a conversation about what I'm going to do, what I want to be able to do, and how it's going to be done. So we'll start off explaining the problem. So I'm telling it I need to be able to associate multiple projects with a single initiative. Let's create a new initiative. Pemberton just said, got it. Right now, initiatives are locked to a single project, but real work often spans multiple projects. Let me check what the current data model looks like so we can spec this properly. So he's already doing all the work for me. Got it. Right now, initiatives are one-to-one with a project or unassigned. You need many-to-many, one initiative spanning multiple projects. Use case makes sense, like auth and access touching both Tachyon and Comic Studio, or enterprise security and compliance applying across projects. Want me to create a ticket for this as a feature in Tachyon? And should I scope it like project links array on initiatives? UI to add remove projects, filtering by project shows across project initiatives. So we already have the UI to add projects, which is cool. So let's create a new initiative. We can start working on some ideas for user flow and experience. Right, so he's creating the initiative under Tachyon since this is a platform feature. Cool, so cross-project initiative is already created. Enable initiatives that span multiple projects, cross-projects, task linking, unified initiative views, and multiple project visibility for user managing work across organizational boundaries. Now I want to make this demo a little bit shorter. I'm not going to come up with a giant backlog of work for my engineering agents to work on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this pretty simple. I want to be able to have the proper initiative show up in my task board. And then if I have the project in a different task board, then I'll be able to do that. So I can see Let's see here, cross-project initiative management right here. So there's nothing in there just yet. So we'll keep this live right now. Oh, so we've already created some ideas in the PRD. Initiative's got a home project, but can link tasks from any project in the org. Tasks don't move, the initiative is just a lens. Project badges on tasks, so you can always know where the task lives, MC, CSN, etc. Cross-project section and sidebar. Project show native initiatives plus any cross-project initiatives that are included in their tasks. I'm not sure about this. Permissions follow the project. So if you can access a certain project, you can see the tasks in that. So what we're going to be doing is adding multiple projects to initiative rather than just having one single project own the initiative. This means if project A and B have initiative X, I need to see initiative X on both kanban A and kanban B. Right now, it's pretty much that simple of what I want to be able to do. So this might be a few user stories. Okay, 3 requirements. To add project to initiative, backend change, project ID turns into projects, an array of object ID, on initiative model, post. Yep, so there's the endpoint, initiative slash ID slash projects. Front end change, multi-select projects on initiative, create, edit. Yep, that's actually a good point. I didn't think about that. Requirement, remove projects from initiative, backend change, delete initiatives ID, project ID. Projects array should store project object ID values, not slugs. That's consistent with how MongoDB references work and how the rest of the data model handles. Updated. Cool. Is there anything else that I'm missing? So there's actually seemingly a pretty small change, but this does affect a few different areas. Well, we're about to see this when we talk to the engineering bot. Cool. Okay, initiative model. Adding or moving project endpoints. Share initiatives appear on all associated project Kanban boards. Existing cross-project initiative management. Okay, still open or worth calling out. Data migration. Existing initiatives have a single project ID. Need a migration script to convert those. Yes. Not breaking, but needs to happen before the new code. Default project. Home project. When someone creates an initiative, what project is the home? Do you still track which project owns it? Or is it purely multi-project from birth? So let's actually go look and see what he's already doing. Yeah, so these are in the backlog right now. Product requirements. So he created these product requirements, problem today initiatives live inside the single project. Great. Core concept initiative can link tasks from multiple projects into a single view. Great. What's the user flow? Create a cross-project initiative. Flow 2, link existing tasks across projects. Flow 3, view cross-project initiatives. Okay, initiative detail page shows a group task board. Tasks grouped by project with project badges filtered. I think we need to update that. Still assuming that we want to do that. Okay, project badges removed. Good. Okay, so I'll refresh the screen and that'll be good. Navigation deferred, sidebar changes, permission scope to project. Okay. Initiative has a home project, appears in that project's navigation. Tasks don't move, they stay in the original project. No project badges on tasks, task ID, prefix, etc. already identify as the project. Permissions follow project. No cross-project tasks links needed. Existing task linking blocks relay 2 works across projects already, which is cool. Navigation deferred. Okay, scope, version 1 data model, API add remove, initiative detail, flat task board with existing task IDs, permissions, project scope to access control. Deferred, cross-project sidebar nav, or global initiative dashboard, exactly. And then auto status rollup. So let's look at that. Data model changes. So this is the tech spec. So we can look side by side. We can also look at just what's on the PRD side and what's on just the tech spec. So let's look at the tech spec. Initiative schema, projects, array of projects, replaces the single project ID field. No, does not replace the single project field. Okay, so initiative dot projects. Each element is a MongoDB object's ID string. Perfect. Okay. First element is the home project ID. Nope, that was changed. Maintain the project ID as the home project. Remove and delete. Transfer home project. There we go. Moves the specified project ID. There we go. Okay. Permissions, project scope, migrations. We're going to remove this. Oh, yeah. There's no migration needed. Initiative details. Okay, so let me make these changes. I'll go back here. Let's make sure the tech spec shows this properly. Additionally, only additional only additional projects should be part of the project's ID. Maybe we do need a slight migration. Actually, do a quick migration to grab project ID and push it to projects array. Cool. Okay. Existing initiatives have project ID set, but no projects array yet. We need a migration that includes projects and then project ID for all existing initiatives. Update the tech spec now. Cool. Okay. I think we have everything. Let's make sure we have the right tickets. Update the tech spec with proper migration initiatives, MongoDB aggregation pipeline migration. There we go. Add a potent filter. Projects exist false, so running won't override already migrated initiatives. Application level enforcement. New initiatives must initialize. There we go. Post-migration validation. Okay. It's not the biggest issue. Here's the full ticket lineup. Task. So 4 tasks. Initiative details spec. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the ID of this task, of this initiative, should I say. Let's look at the tasks, front end, cross project, migrate initiative data model. There we go. Add and remove projects from initiative. Okay, and then cross project initiative queries and permission enforcement. So let's send this over to Rocky. Got a new initiative to work on. Let me know what you think. Anything missing? What are we not? Okay, so Rocky, my engineering agent, is going to review this, give some updates. if needed. If something doesn't make sense, we'll figure it out. Okay. Got it pulled up. Here's my read. The spec is solid on the happy path, but there are some blind spots worth addressing before implementation starts. Data model risks projects alongside project ID creates a dual source of truth for the home project. Over time, drift will happen. A mongoose is essential, not just a migration check. Cool. No MongoDB indexes strategy mentioned for projects. You'll need a multi-key index for in queries. Good idea. Okay. Let's add these items. Proper indexing. Project ownership and permissions coming at a later date. Okay, what else do we have here? Edge cases not addressed, proper deletion while linked to a cross-project initiative, orphaned references, no cleanup strategy. If initiative is removed, references in tasks need to be removed. However, this is outside of this scope. Okay. Empty project if all tasks from a linked project are removed. Does the project stay in projects forever? Empty project. Cross project inclusion. 5. Race conditions on simultaneous add remove projects from different admins. We'll address later if needed. However, we can ensure with indexes that no duplicate project IDs are added to the project's array. Okay, how does the user add link projects to initiative? There's a post endpoint, but no UI described for managing the project's array. Front end. Let's make sure we have a task created for adding projects to an initiative. We currently have one. No acceptance criteria test strategy. The platform requires unit tests alongside all feature work this initiative needs given when that acceptance criteria is before tasks are created. Yes. Based on these, let me know what Pemberton needs to add or change, and we'll do that. So we're 34 minutes in. We're getting pretty solid. There's a couple things missing. And this is why it's important to go back and forth between your BA bot, your business analyst bot, and your engineer bot. So let's copy this over, send it over to Pemberton. Do all the tasks have proper TDD acceptance criteria? Fix Titan. No, fix rewrite acceptance criteria to match V1 scope. There we go. TD ready, fix clarity access. Yes, go ahead. Okay, so we've got 5 tickets all in backlog right now. Let me validate with Rocky one more time. Okay, MC330 contradicts the PRD tech specs on badges. No project badges on tasks. Task ID prefix already. I'm gonna send this over to Pemberton really quick. It's important we have all the proper things up to date so that when the work is actually started, it'll work quickly. Okay, so we're adding task dependency links, adding the pre-save hook recommendation, addressing MC331 overlap, schema enforcement. Okay, Great. Let me validate one more time. Okay, so we've got 5 tasks. We've got our product requirements. It looks like we updated the tech spec to markdown. That bothers me, so please update tech spec to follow proper HTML. I don't know about you, but I can't just read a wall of text. I need some formatting. There we go. Data model changes. Initiative schema. Initiative.projects. There we go. Projects always matches project ID. Perfect. Proper indexing. There we go. Create index projects 1. Okay. Task schema. Project ID and initiative ID fields. Okay. Migration. API endpoints, add project to initiative, remove project from initiative, transfer home project, race conditions, deferred. Okay, this is looking good. Now let me get ready for this because we're going to watch cross-project management. We're going to watch this page as Rocky starts to get the work done. Go ahead and move these to do, assign to Rocky. Thanks. Okay, so he's going to start moving these to do. We'll see it on the board. There we go. Not sure why we're not seeing all of them. Give him a minute. Okay, let's get the acceptance criteria tightened up then if he's not ready for it. What do you need? I guess I missed that part. Okay, got total. Here's what I'm seeing that needs tightening up. Existing API responses include both project ID, projects, vaguely testable, vague testability, acceptance criteria checks. Oh, all 5 acceptance. Okay, so he tightened up the acceptance criterias. Perfect. Let's move them all to do and assign to Rocky. Okay, now they're all assigned to Rocky and we're good to go. Now, here's the part that gets pretty exciting. It might take a little bit, and he's going to get started on it. I'm going to hide the backlog now so we can see the all the board. And I'm just going to have this run. This is when I get to go to sleep. I'm going to come back in the morning or in, I don't know, this is probably 45 minutes worth of work at most. And I'll be able to test it. First, I want to see it actually move across the board. There we go. So Rocky's taken it. He's going to add a comment. You can see here that we have the description of the task, the acceptance criteria, making sure that the add is atomic if there's a concurrent post that happens. Now, this is an extremely unlikely thing to happen, but it's a possibility. You can see that MC331 is blocked by this task. Okay, looks like we have a comment from Rocky. Yep, Rocky. Start work on this task. Will implement schema changes, pre-save hook, migration script, and unit tests. So it looks like work's already started. I'll pick up recording later. As you can see, migrate initiative detail model from project ID to projects array is already done. left a comment. Implementation complete. All acceptance criteria satisfied. Initiative schema has projects. Migration script backfills existing CRUD, etc., etc., etc. 9 out of 9 tests pass. Changes committed and pushed. There we go. So that one's done. Okay, so it's saying that everything's done. I've been recording for 59 minutes. So let's just see if it works. See, we have a bug here. It's saying that I don't have any initiatives. Obviously I do. So that was an oversight. Let's look at the tasks. I can filter by initiatives. So that's there. So that actually still works. So let's quickly make a change. Okay. One bug that was introduced. I can no longer see tasks, initiatives in my project settings page. I can filter task board by the initiative though. So one thing I'm working on is making sure that the validation stage actually happens before I move it to, it's moved to user testing. What that means is that I have a QA agent bot that will do this work for me. And it goes in and validates that things actually still work, that that all of the tests, the end-to-end tests pass. It also writes new tests for the validation stage. I have that turned off at the moment. I just need a new task, not for you to debug it. Just create the bug. See, created the bug. Make sure that's in the same initiative. Move it to do. Assign to Rocky. Okay, and he'll pick this up in a minute. Okay, let's see if it's actually fixed. Perfect. So now we can actually see all the initiatives in our project. Okay, so let's look at this initiative. We have a bug. So I'm just going to copy these, create a new bug. Now I can create a bug here. I like to actually create them with my BA agent. They'll add more context a lot quicker than I can. Have a new bug. Cannot view the initiative page. Here's the console error. And the same cross project initiative. go ahead and do so. Okay, bug assigned and move to Rocky. Now this is where usually having a validation QA bot is going to be helpful because they'll validate anything that's broken. Additionally, making sure all tests are run during the validation process before any commits are made. Those are all things that are in process right now, not fully complete yet. Okay, not 100% done fixing the bug yet, but it's working again. So I'm going to go back here, go to projects. Let's see here. I'm going to also add Comic Studio. There we go. And if I want to actually change the home, yeah, so I'm going to make this the home project. Now Comic Studio is the home project, but I can still see the data in here. Cross project initiative management. I actually want tachyon to be the right one here, and I'm going to remove Comic Studio. However, let's go check, make sure that I can filter. And I can't, so that's another issue. So let me explain this here. One more bug to create. I can manage the projects. However, when I add a second project, okay, and this should probably do everything that we need and we'll be good to go. Yeah, there we go. So let me look at this. This is already created. Okay, steps to reproduce. Link a second project to initiative via add project. Navigate to the linked non-home projects Kanban board. Attempt to filter by the shared initiative. Initiative does not filter. That's exactly what happened here. There we go. This is exactly what needs to happen. Okay, that bug is fixed in short amount of time. So I can go to the projects that it's on. I can go back to that and it's good. Let me try something here. So I'm going to go to this. Now I can see this initiative in there. I'm going to go to projects. I'm actually going to just remove this from there. It's no longer in there. I'm going to go here and it's no longer in there. That's it. I now have cross-project initiative management. I can add projects. I can make them the home project. If I refresh the page, it'll stay. Let me move tachyon back in. I'm going to remove the projects from the linked project. And there we go.